Boys, what is going on?
Yo,
I I want the technology just to work when I press the button, and I just need the shit to work. Good grief, beyond frustrating. I was getting ready to go live, and then just everything just started failing right in front of me, and I had no idea how to fix it. It was just like, well, here it goes, here it goes. So now everybody on the East Coast probably asleep, but hell, F it, I'm gonna get it done anyways. But how was your week?
it's busy, man. Running all over the place.
Yep. Yep. T, how about you, man?
Standard week, man. just chilling.
Yeah.
Getting paid to do nothing, man.
Hey, you gotta love that. You gotta love it.
I don't. I mean, I'm grateful to be able to pay bills, but I like my job, man. So I'd like to be able to do it.
You laughing at me right now?
Yeah, I heard the clang, and you look up like, what in the hell is going on?
That was just Tyler
Oh.
throwing some dishes in the sink. Yes, they can still hear you right now. Yeah.
What's up? Oh man. So the playoffs have been pretty good. I know some of the series have been cut short, but we've had that Pistons Knicks series. It's over, and I think the end result looks lopsided, but that was a fun one.
Yeah. Dude, Jalen Brunson he's a dog, man. He's so good. He's just clutch. I mean, I don't even know what to say other than that. And then, the Pacers Bucks series, that was, a little bit of a dud, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that one wasn't great.
Yeah.
Soon as Dame went down with that Achilles, it's like the series is over.
Yeah, and then the Lakers series, I knew that was going to be a problem from the start with Minnesota. They're just one, too big on the inside, and two, too athletic. Lakers just zero inside presence for defense,
and
zero
LeBron's
ability to rebound the ball whatsoever. That was bad. But I mean,
and LeBron trash. So there's always that too.
Okay, yeah. you heard what Ant said in the post game conference or after Game 5, right?
What did he say?
He said, "Yeah, it's great." He said, "We beat the best player in the world." So yeah, I'm happy about it. That's out of his mouth, man, not mine.
Come on, best play. Maybe once upon a time, but not currently.
Nah, yeah, you can't say he's the best player in the league right now. That's
No.
yeah, you could. Shoot, Ant keeps playing like this. He might have an argument for that.
Well, he is filthy.
Yeah,
filthy. Just, yeah. When he gets a mindset going, you ain't stopping him.
Well, yeah, fourth quarter. If they need a big play, it's a wrap. He's too athletic. He shoots too well, and he plays. I think the most impressive thing about them was just how hard they played defensively the entire series. Yeah. Like there was no letdown at all.
If they still have Cat in that series, I don't know that the Lakers win, but it's probably a 6 or 7 game series because Cat just doesn't play real physical down low, so that having that center presence doesn't matter. But Julius Randle and how he was able to body up Braun and play like.
Yeah,
that made a big difference. And then Rudy Gobert, like I mean, yes, he was playing against LeBron as center or whatever. And I'm as much as I can be because he's a Duke guy, but I am a JJ Redick fan as he's gotten further away from college. I like him, and I did not understand his resistance to playing Hayes or just trying to play big to see it. I don't understand. He was just stubborn, kind of set in his ways, it seemed like. I didn't see the Rudy Gobert kind of dominating and stepping up and being that guy either. But he showed up big. presence in that series.
For sure. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Especially after it did not work in game 4. You're trying to play that small lineup. You don't make any subs the entire fourth quarter. I don't understand the inability or just not unwillingness to try to adapt. Because Minnesota was like, all right, you're going to keep doing that? That's fine. We'll just keep Rudy out there and Julius out there, and we'll just big boy you to death. That's how it went down. So, I mean,
And then what else we had? We had the Cavaliers look great. Cleveland looks really, really good. Your boy Spider looks. I mean, people give I think because he's more flashy, he's more boisterous. He's just more out there, like in Anthony Edwards. But we talk about a guy who's going to just go take over fourth quarter.
Killer.
He's that guy too. Yeah, he is. He's a killer.
I don't see the Pacers matching up well with them, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know if the Cavs. I mean, shoot, that I think that Knicks Celtics series is going to be a good one, but I just don't. I don't see the Pacers hanging with Cleveland at all.
I think that might be a good series. I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics dominate the Knicks. To be honest, it might be a gentleman's sweep. They look really good. I think after that series with the Pistons, they might be beat up a bit. But you see, old Papa Halliburton is suspended and not allowed to come to any more of the playoff games.
Yeah, man, that was extra. That was ridiculous. I mean, it's like you didn't play the game, dog. Your kid did. Like, why are you out on the floor waving some stuff in the face of an NBA champion? First of all, but that was ridiculous.
And props to Giannis, because I think a lot of players would have just clocked his ass, or at least done more than what was that. He showed some some composure in that moment for sure.
Yeah, he was not happy about it at all, but I mean, rightfully so.
He was not. But even his press conference, you could tell he was pissed, but he was. So honestly, Halliburton was pretty professional too, and he's like, hey, it's not acceptable. Can't be doing that. But it was kind of a wild scene. And then afterwards, when they interviewed his pops, and he was like, it looks like I was staring at Giannis. I was staring through him. I was like, okay, this guy.
Good one, dude.
T, what are you watching over there, man? What are you doing?
I just got ESPN on, just watching the highlights of a game I just watched.
Dude, I don't. Number one, the sole reason that I do not want the Rockets to win that series is I cannot stand Dylan Brooks. I think Dylan Brooks is the most obnoxious athlete on the face of the earth. Like, he wants to be Draymond Green, and he's not. Like, that is, he tries to take on like that type of persona, and he's just not at all. But man, I don't know. I think maybe
Dylan Brooks is hard to root for sure. Yeah. I don't like him either.
And not just
it's everything. It's the off court, just with his shades every day and all. I can't. I'm not an advocate of the shades inside things. I hate shades indoors.
I'm just an absolute nerd.
Did y'all watch Quarter Gold on Netflix? The doc on the Olympics. They tried to they followed him around for a bit. It was Canada, France, US, and Serbia they followed around. And they tried to follow Dylan Brooks around and kind of humanize him. And there was a moment where he was tearing up with his mom. And the whole time I was like, stop. It's too far gone. You're hated too much at this point.
Yeah. We do not care.
Can't change it.
We do not care.
No.
At all. At all.
The whole my on the court persona is different than who I am. I was like, you should have thought about that beforehand.
Yeah, before your interviews with sunglasses in the locker room and stuff.
But
I hate it. I can't stand it.
It's gonna take take some doing to get to win that game 7 though in Houston.
Yeah, That we were texting I think you got Steph and you got Jimmy. So like, can they step up in one game and get to you? But yeah, with a tough team, I honestly didn't think Van Fleet had this kind of run in him anymore. Like I probably slept on him a little bit. Like when he was in Toronto, he was good, but his veteran presence on the team has definitely picked him up. Because I was obviously I'm a homer, so I'm like, you gotta put Reed Shepard in the game. He's a 3 overall pick. You gotta put him in the game over fucking Van Fleet's old ass. But
No.
And then
he has
Van
proven
Fleet
me
comes out
wrong.
and hits 9 threes.
Yeah,
or whatever it
and
was,
even in
9 or 10
even in the
threes.
loss, the other day, he had damn near 30. If it wasn't, so he's played really well.
Yeah.
But until they put Reed Shepard on the court consistently, I can't cheer for the Rockets.
Yeah. And then who else? Oh, Nuggets and Clippers going to Game 7.
That one's going to be a good one tomorrow. That's going to be a real good one.
Yeah,
I got a feeling Joker takes over tomorrow. He's at home. And, he didn't play. And I say didn't play particularly well. He still damn near had a triple double. But
I was about to say he probably had a triple double anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. His deal, he's got to stop turning the damn ball over. Like he's average triple double, but he got like 6-7 turnovers in a game, which is killer. But you talk about playoff showing up. Jamal Murray, that's another dude who is, I think, a little bit slow. That guy is a absolute dog, man.
Yeah.
The Blue Arrow still got it, and we got to go and watch him a couple times live when we were out there in Colorado Springs, and he's exciting to watch. And playoff Jamal is for real, but that's all I'll be pulling for tomorrow. But I mean, Kawhi's looking great, and I just don't know if Norman can give you that kind of performance on the road, because you're going to need all three of those dudes, Harden, Kawhi, Norman, to kind of step up. Norman Powell to step up. I don't know if you can get a 25-point game from Norman Powell on the road.
He's a champion. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah, I mean, I like his game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like a Norman Powell hater. But I don't know if you're going to consistently get that kind of performance from him. But who do you got, T, in that series? Who close it out?
I mean, I think home court advantage matters. I agree that Kawhi looks kind of like the Kawhi of the Raptors run. I don't know if the Clippers have enough. I don't know if James Harden is able to pull something out of nowhere and kind of give you some vintage James Harden-ness, but I think without him stepping up and really being able to give them something special, they're probably still going to lose. It's just hard to beat teams at home, especially Denver. They got a great fan base there, so I have a hard time seeing Denver lose that one at home.
Yeah, the one thing that I would say gives the Clippers the advantage is Ty Lue on the sidelines versus whoever the hell this interim coach is that took over for Mike Malone when he got fired. Now, like I know, it's apparent he's not doing much. It's like Joker's pretty much coaching the team. He's Jackie Moon in this thing. Like he's player, coach, GM at this point. But it's like I don't know. I mean, but Ty Lue is a good coach, and so if it does come down close, can Ty Lue out coach the interim guy? That being said, Ty Lue tried to give away that game 2 nights ago, or last night, whatever the hell it was. They kind of take the air out of the ball, and I don't understand that concept. If you guys disagree, but like I know they were up double digits with like 2 minutes left, or shit, it was like 4 minutes left, and they're running out the shot clock. In my mind, you take the air of the ball, you take the air of the offense, and that's what kind of let Denver get back in the game. If you're kicking their ass by playing fast, just keep playing fast until the game's over. Like it doesn't make any sense to me why you wait till 8-9 seconds left on the shot clock to try to generate offense.
No, I'm with you on that. Ty Lue, he is a difference maker, but Russ could also be a difference maker for the Clippers. If he goes out there,
yes.
if he goes out there as a double agent, helping his whole team out by doing some crazy stuff. I love Russ, love his mentality, but it can bite him in the butt sometimes. So
yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's something to keep your eye out for tomorrow too. Like, all right, what you gonna do in key moments for us?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was back to back blown layups for Russ in that game, and if he makes just one of them, Denver potentially can stay in that game and win it. But yeah, the Russell Wilson, or I'm sorry, the Russell Westbrook experience. Actually, both of them, both experiences are you never know
They're
what you're gonna
unique.
get.
They're both unique.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Uh, Danger Russ and Russell Westbrook. The situational basketball for Russ he's like, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna at any moment. I'm just gonna just try to make something happen.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a trip, but like, not many have that mentality anymore. Like he's just on kill at all times. So and it's why he is who he is, right? Like he's a first ballot Hall of Famer and all that because of his mentality. But at this juncture of his career, it's a whole lot more dangerous than effective sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's funny. We're talking about Russ. Jackson and I were watching the game, and I think it was the first one of the first two at home in Denver, and you see Russ make a boneheaded play to get the ball back, potentially let the Clippers win the game, and then he makes the game-winning steal to kind of seal it. So he's like he just the ebb and flow there. And I was talking to Jackson about Westbrook, and I was like, KD, Russ, and Harden were all on the same team, and he was just looking at me like he couldn't fathom like all three of these great players were on the same team. And I was like, and OKC was like great, and then it just kind of fell apart.
Well, because they traded Harden, right? But Harden was never going to become Harden in OKC behind KD and Russ.
Yeah,
as a sixth man. Like he was still like the best sixth man in the league, and you could tell he was a stud and all that. But then he got to go to Houston and just completely get the reins and do really, along with Steph, like transform basketball, right? Because Steph just has everybody launching threes, and not that he was the first to do it, but for like a 3 or 4 year stretch, whatever it was, he was just unstoppable just by doing step backs all the time. So now all anybody wants to do is step backs.
Do you remember when they were having people guard him? They would play his
on the backside,
on the backside, put their hands behind their back so they wouldn't get fouled. Yeah, it was absolutely wild. But yeah, Rockets, and the Rockets, Chris Paul. I'm sorry, the Harden, Chris Paul Rockets. Where they took him to game, it was Golden State to Game 7, and it was CP that had the hamstring injury.
CP hurt his hammy. CP hurt his hammy in Game 6, I think.
Yeah.
And then Game 7, Houston shot like 3 of 42 from 3 or something ridiculous, like historically atrocious 3-point percentage, and still barely lost.
Didn't they have like a 3-1 lead in that series or something like that? They were up a couple of games in that series, I feel like, and then Golden State came back.
That was the year, and it was kind of like Draymond getting suspended, and then Cleveland kind of come back. It was like there was a big piece of that series that kind of affected it. But I do wonder, like I agree with you, T. Like James Harden to be like the guy getting his spotlight in Houston. That's kind of how it happened. But if those three dudes would have stayed in OKC, but I mean. And they kind of help supplement that team. Like that's a big three that they could have built around. OKC could have been a 2 or 3 time champion if they would just kind of would have stuck that out and figured it out. But they got one now. They got a team now. I think on the West, OKC and Minnesota are the two teams I think that will be in one of those teams will be in the finals just based off of. Both of them have been there before. They both got guys who can take over a game, and both teams have very good secondary and supplemental players who can step up in big moments. So that's my pick for the West. For the West, and I think the East, unfortunately, unfortunately, but it seems like it's Cleveland or Boston that's going to take over that the East Coast.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it doesn't. I don't really think it matters who wins the Clippers Nuggets series. I don't think either one of them has a chance against OKC. And then I think Minnesota's just hot right now. They're going to be tough to beat, especially if Ant keeps playing the way that he's playing.
Yeah, your one argument for Denver is like T said before, they're champions, right? So like they've been there.
Oh yeah,
so, in a 7-game series they can pitch to win. But OKC is the better team by far. But two very different styles. OKC not chucking a bunch of threes. Like Shea probably going to win the MVP with a 3-point shot that is broken. So like it's very 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 different.
Still averages 30 plus a game, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
I love watching Shea play. I got his shoes on order, and then I was going to talk about I got De'Aaron Fox's shoes back here too, which is a good caveat into. I feel like a piece of our childhood just ended today with Greg Popovich retiring.
Yeah, man, I think it's
which if you saw the pictures they posted when they said Greg Popovich retired, and they posted like the pictures of current, Pop. It's like, okay, he needed to retire. Like he looks like a skeleton.
Yeah,
not good.
I think
not good.
He's been due to retire I think he stuck around long enough to try to see where the Wemby thing was going to go. Yeah. But man, I mean, like, what else? The dude doesn't need to prove anything else. Like, how many championships did they win? What do you got? 4, 3, 4, something like that. Because they got 2 with.
I think 4.
They got 2 with 4. Robinson and Duncan, right? And then I think Duncan won it with Ginobili and Parker and all those dudes. I think Parker. 2 more times.
Yeah, they got 3, and then 1 with Kawhi, right? Pretty sure. Well, Tony Parker got 2, but Tim Duncan got 3. 1 with David Robinson.
Yeah,
let's see.
So 1 with David Robinson on one side, 1 with Kawhi on one side, and then 2 in the middle with Ginobili.
Pop won 5: 99, 2003, 2005, 2007, and 2014, which was the one with Kawhi.
So 3 with. So what you said? What was the second one?
Is 99, 03, 05, and 07.
Yeah, so only 1 with David Robinson, right? He'd already retired.
I could have sworn they won 2 with David Robinson. I could be wrong.
But yeah, he's a legend. I agree. He probably should have retired 2 or 3 years ago. I've been thinking, like, did his legacy get damaged some? Kind of like what happened with Bill Belichick once Tom Brady left. The Patriots were terrible. Everybody's like, really, was he all that good of a coach? Same with Pop. Tim Duncan retires. The Spurs are terrible. But I'm not hearing it. I think Pop was an amazing coach. He knew how to manage personalities. He knew how to build a culture. Like, Spurs were never going to be super entertaining to watch, but they were going to stick. They were just going to
win.
Yes, they were just going to win consistently. So great career. One of the all-time great coaches, I think, up there with Red Auerbach and Pat Riley, whoever else you want to say is a great NBA coach. He's got to be in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah, Robinson was on that 03 team.
Okay,
I think he retired after that second championship, though. I think that was his last year.
Okay, and then 2 with Ginobili and Parker, and then
Parker
1,
and that Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili trio was the 05, 07 championships.
Yeah,
and they should have had another one. I'll never forget where I was when that free throw was missed and Ray Allen hit that.
Yeah, Ray Allen hit that 3. They rolled out the trophy
on the Oh my goodness! And as someone who is like the LeBron hater.
Oh man! And then he got his headband knocked off, and it was a wrap.
Yep. I knew it. That was my first welcome to gambling experience. I was working at TGI Fridays in Tampa in college, and the bartender that was there was from Miami. The other bartender was there, and I bet him on the series that the Spurs are going to win. He handed me the money, and then Ray Allen hit that shot. And I had to hand it back to him. I was like, "Damn it!" Yeah. And then sure enough, Game 7, they won it.
You know what, Kyle, you're the reason that they lost that series. That's why. If you hadn't handed the money over, if you'd just been like, "Hey, let's wait this extra, 5-6 seconds, and then I'll give you your money," then it just would have never happened.
Yeah. But it goes back to my argument of why LeBron, not the guy. He needed Ray Allen. He needed Kyrie. It's just he needed Dwayne Wade to win a championship. So.
That is such a terrible argument.
That's a terrible argument.
But it's a horrible argument. Like Jordan didn't pass it out to Steve Kerr or John Paxson.
Yeah.
Or Kobe didn't pass it out to Ron Artest or whatever.
Robert Horry.
Yeah.
Those are different. Those are all different circumstances.
Not different at all. Absolutely not.
Those are to win games, not series.
They had to go to a Game 7.
They had to go to a Game 7 after that. That was Game 6.
Yeah, my point is, it was going to be over.
Just stop. Just stop.
It's going to be over.
Just stop.
It's a terrible argument.
I will never ever be able to support LeBron, and mainly because of what he did to my Dwight Howard led Magic when he was with Cleveland. But
and
then the one time we got past him. Kobe just
ran into the
Kobe said,
Kobe buzzsaw.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then Dwight went to try to join him and just could not handle the mama mentality and fell apart, and his career was over.
He did end up getting a chip though.
Yeah.
Where? What am I forgetting?
In the bubble.
Oh, that's right. That's right with the Lakers.
That's right. He was on that team. I see. That's
he was huge. He and JaVale McGee were huge. And what I thought was dope with Dwight, he goes from being one of the faces of the league, MVP dude. You could tell he 100% embraced being a role player, and he was still athletic. He was still strong. Still he was down there still bodying people and all that. He caused all kind of problems for Joker in the Western Conference Finals in the bubble. He was huge for that championship. They do not win it without him.
Is he still playing in China right now?
I haven't seen him recruiting anybody out to China in a little while, so I don't think so. I know he did say he officially retired from the NBA at least. So
yeah, there's a lot of people trying to reach out to his agent and get him.
Hey, Lakers could have used him against Minnesota.
They could have probably just stand in the way. That's all you got to do.
Just be in the way and push. And he could have pushed Rudy Gobert with one arm still, I'm sure.
Yeah. That dude's got the biggest shoulders of any basketball player I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I love Dwight Howard. Now, that being said, I remember being a kid, and of course I can't watch a lot of high school basketball, but I watched Okafor play for UConn, and Orlando had the number 1 pick, and I was like, you gotta pick Okafor, you gotta pick him, and they didn't. I was upset, and then instantly realized I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Who did they get?
Howard.
That was the same year as Howard.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so
and Okafor was terrible.
He went to Charlotte. Well, part of it was probably because he went to Charlotte.
Yeah, he wasn't terrible, but he was not a number 1 pick type dude.
No.
I told you guys I played against Dwight, right?
Howard?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, AAU ball. He played for the Atlanta Celtics. Him, Josh Smith, and then actually Randall, you'll know because he went to Kentucky. Randolph Morris. They were all on the same
Josh
team.
Smith, Atlanta Hawks. Josh Smith.
Yep, all on the same team.
Shit. Damn.
Yeah, all on the same team. And then of course, I'm growing up. I mean, we're basically the same age, but I got a couple years on y'all. It's during the height of the and one movement, right? And they also had a point guard who could do all that little stuff, right? So they would go ahead and get you blowed out in the first quarter, first half or whatever. and then he would basically come across half court, and then he would just dribble right there until somebody came out to check him, and then would just sauce him, just serve him all over the place, doing all that stuff. Luckily, I didn't have to guard that dude. It was Matthew Washington that had to guard him. poor Matthew Washington. But yeah, man, I mean, we would play them in the summers in Swanee, Georgia, and I mean, they would just absolutely annihilate us. The Atlanta Celtics had a bunch of teams like the Celtics, gold, black, white, green. All of them were super good, but each color represented a tier. And so whichever color the top tier was Dwight and Josh Smith and Randolph Morris. And yeah, it would get ugly. We had one dude on our team because where I was living was a football town. We had one dude on our team who went and played pro ball. I don't know, in like Argentina, somewhere in South America. The rest of us, football or after high school, that was it. We had one guy go to the NFL, play for the Colts, played at Purdue actually. Hate that place. So yeah, we were football dudes that could hoop a little bit, but we weren't competing with them. So yeah, I got to see him up close and personal.
So speaking of And1 Mixtape Tour, they came to Orlando when I was in high school. No, I was getting ready to go into high school. So I was like going into my freshman year of high school, and they came out there, and I was like, it was at the UCF campus, and I went out there, and they had you could sign up for open run, because if you got to like the top two could go into and play in the game, right, against the M1 guys. Hot Sauce was out there. This was when I used to cut my sleeves like in the dangly things with like Hot Sauce did. I like the older me would kick the younger me's ass for looking silly out there, but not because it was silly, but because I couldn't do the things that I was like looking like it, but I couldn't do the thing. So I was, well, I'm going to sign my name up because I can hoop. I'm going to sign my name up and play against some of these guys who want to get inside. One of the most humbling experiences of my life. The 14-year-old me looked back like instantly was like, this was a stupid fucking decision, dude. This was not a good idea.
I'm in danger.
They came to Wingate, and by that time, And1 wasn't really all that popular. Hot Sauce was doing like his own tour, basically.
Yeah.
But whatever his tour came, and so Hot Sauce was at Wingate, and the football players, like, we hooped regularly. That was actually probably the best that I ever was in basketball. And I was like, I absolutely am not going out there for everyone to come watch me get served up. I grew up watching this dude. Yeah. Not happening. I got a reputation to uphold here in college, man. It is not happening.
Let's just say I had too high of confidence in my own abilities, and it was quickly brought down when I was out there.
Yeah, I already knew.
I'm a shooter. I don't do the And1 thing. I'm a shooter. And Alex saw last weekend that has also faded quickly.
Yeah. That is a perishable skill.
I'll tell you right now, if you can shoot on those rims at Hoop House, you can shoot anywhere. Those things were tight. Like,
there was no love on those rims, man.
None whatsoever.
There were multiple shots that I let go thinking it was going to drop, and it right out. I'm like,
boom. Stiff rims.
Yeah.
Stiff rims.
That's
one thing.
I came home and we were talking shooting. Lindsay was like, you shoot something? I was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, I'm not happy though. I was like, why? I said, I'm pretty sure Alex outshot me. I didn't count, but I'm pretty sure he outshot me.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Let the baseball guy take it.
Yeah.
You're talking about, we used to do the same thing.
What it was he had a segment of like, he dropped like 5 in a row, and that would put it over. He got hot there for a second. I was like, my percentage has dropped too far.
Yeah, we used to do the same thing though. The baseball team would go out. We would go to our rec center and just go run open court with the rest of the dudes at the college up there at Coppin. That's the most basketball play that I had played in like years. So yeah, it was a good time though.
That's one I tell Ariana all the time. I hate the sound of bricks at Thompson Bowling. It's like Tennessee's, I don't know what it is with our rims. They sound horrible. I hate the sound that they make. It is the ugliest. You better shoot a swish because if that junk hits the rim, that mess sounds bad.
Terrible.
I can't stand it. Like watch what next season. Just listen to it. Our rims, I can't stand the way. I've always hated it. Why do they sound like that?
What?
That's a good segue. You saw that the NBA Combine invites dropped today.
Nah, I didn't see that. Mm-mm.
So Chaz got an invite.
Yeah, probably Igor.
Expected. He's the only Tennessee kid on there.
Okay. Thought Meshack might
Kobe.
have, but...
Kobe got one. Ortega got one. There was one school that didn't have any invites, which was, I don't know if it's surprising to any of us, but
no, I mean it's not at all. We who would you say on our team is an NBA caliber player? I can't come up with one. I think Chucky might make a roster and then go to the G League.
I would have thought Chucky might have got an invite.
Nah, dude, he's too small. I mean, I definitely think I think he will end up on an NBA roster? Yes, absolutely. But I just don't. I mean, yeah.
I thought Pettiford was a true freshman. I mean, I guess not because he got an invite. I'm looking at the list now from Auburn.
What?
I thought he was a freshman. But I guess not.
But yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is play 1 year, right?
Oh yeah,
I missed him. I was like, they changed the rules.
No, you're right. I'm bugging.
I do for some reason think he was a redshirt freshman, but yeah, I think he just had to do 1 year.
Yeah, he can be one and done. I was talking to my family about this yesterday. If you're Tennessee, do you retire Zakai Ziegler's jersey? And then All-American, SEC Defensive Player of the Year twice, greatest.
Tired of these jersey retiring conversations.
Yeah, what is he, Shadur? What? Come on, man, what is going on?
Assist leader, SEC all-time assist leader. So
this
4 years, 2 Elite Eights. He's the greatest point guard in TBA,
but you can't retire his jersey. Put his name in TBA. You gonna 5, right? He was 5.
Sure. I don't know what number he was.
I think. I don't know. I don't know about retiring the jersey. Put his name up there, but retire his jersey. And he wouldn't need a chip. He didn't even get you to a Final Four. He got a lot of stats, but
he has success. I mean, Elite Eights are good runs, and he got the 2.
Not doubting that, but I mean, I couldn't tell you the list of jersey retirements UT has.
We don't have a lot. It's like Allen Houston, Chris Lofton, Bernard King, Dale Ellis, and
Allen Houston. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I'm super mad at him. Ernie Grunfeld. Like that's it.
So you just listed top. So you're putting it would be in like the top 5 of Tennessee players ever.
I think he is. I mean, he's definitely the greatest point guard ever at Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean that's a Tennessee fan thing. I would think hey, you win. I wouldn't retire his jersey, but he does. He does have the stats accolades, I guess.
4, 5.
Yeah, I mean, and remember, Tennessee doesn't have crazy basketball success. So relative to what the university, the program at Tennessee has had, he's had some of the greatest success getting to 2 Elite Eights.
So what do Tennessee's fans say? They say yes?
I don't know. My family thinks so. I haven't asked anybody else. And so then I also brought up Grant, right? What do you do with Grant Williams? Because he's a 2-time SEC Player of the Year, first team All-America. Because Tennessee has these requirements that these wickets that they got a list of 5 or 6 wickets or so, and you got to hit 3 of them in order to get your jersey retired. First team All-America, SEC Player of the Year.
You don't have to just be the coach's son to get your jersey retired.
So I think there is a hey, the collective or whoever can vote for an anomaly, I guess. And Zakai actually would do that because he only hits 2 of the wickets because he was a third team All-American, not a first team. I mentioned Grant because SEC Player of the Year was one of them, and he got that twice, and he got first team All-America. But they said of the 2, you retire Zakai before you retire Grant.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't either, but I don't want folks to be disrespectful to Grant. Like 2-time SEC Player of the Year is a big deal, and he's the first time to do that since Corliss Williamson back at Arkansas. When was he there? Like in the early 90s, if I recall correctly. I remember him for playing for the Pistons because Grant Hill was my guy.
Yeah,
but and Allen Houston.
My only if I'm going to put myself in Tennessee fandom, I would say Zakai did what he did those last 2 years in an SEC that was significantly more competitive than what Williams did.
I'll give you that.
That's a good point.
I'll give you that.
And Grant had a better team around him. Now he was still the man, right? Like everything ran through him. But he had Admiral Schofield, he had Jordan Bone, Jordan Bowden, Kyle Alexander, like all those guys, Lamonte Turner. So yeah, he had probably a better squad around him. It still ran through him, but he had a better supporting cast and a more consistent one, right? Because Zakai is having to go through all these one and dones with Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer and Kennedy Chandler, who are in and out, Dalton, DK in and out, Chaz in and out. So, but yeah, so then of course they were like, so who all is retired in Kentucky? And I was like, I don't know. I think whatever I ended up looking up was like Kentucky Hall of Fame instead. But I saw that John Wall and Boogie Cousins were on that, and I vehemently disagree with them rating being in the Kentucky Hall of Fame. They were there for 1 year, and they significantly, well, maybe not significantly, but they underperformed because they were kind of like championship or bust, and they did not get the championship. Like, they had one good year. Why is that that's not Hall of Fame? You can find one amazing season all over the country.
I think it was like the comeback for Kentucky basketball. You know, like the Billy Gillispie years had just drug us down, and it was
Billy Gillispie was a garbage coach. He was so bad.
He loved to booze up a little bit, you know. Who doesn't?
He was no Kenny Payne, but you know,
it's correct. Yeah, he tried to be, which is crazy because I think Gillespie won. I think SEC Coach of the Year his first year.
I think he did. Yeah, he had the remnants of that team though. Yeah,
was it Tubby he took over for?
Yeah, it was Tubby. Yeah,
yeah.
Because I mean, dude, it's the same as like I think Tubby Smith is a good coach, but you know, if we're being honest, he won a national championship with Rick Pitino's roster. So, you know, all he had to do was just kind of take the pieces and be like, okay, just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so you're saying John Wall and Boogie kind of re-entered Kentucky into the upper echelons of college basketball. I mean, but that's almost the same reasoning that we're using for Shedeur to not have his though. He made Colorado relevant again, but like,
yeah, but not to. I don't think it's to the same extent.
But Kentucky got to the Elite Eight, lost to West Virginia. I mean, it was a coaching malpractice. We let West Virginia beat us playing that fucking zone
with Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah,
with Joe Mazzulla. Yeah,
was Huggy still coaching there at the time? Bob Huggins
was Huggy Bear. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. But especially with Boogie that down there, where it's like just feed him, just eat, just. But again, you know, it's like John.
That
Wall.
dude was.
But also remember what we're talking about, right? Like this, we're talking about Kentucky. So this is a school with a vast, massive basketball history. So again, just because you have one good season And you've been on the record now talking about how Elite Eights don't matter and all that. So you can't now try to use that.
They only matter when Kyle feels like they matter.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't be trying to use Elite Eight to get them in there now. Obviously, like, we know they were monsters. John Wall and Boogie were incredible, but I don't know.
Just got to move those goalposts. Keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah. I just don't think one good season at Kentucky merits being in the Kentucky Hall of Fame based off of what the history of Kentucky basketball is.
Yeah, I honestly just try to look it up, and I only see.
But did you look up Hall of Fame or Jersey's retired?
Jersey's retired, but it's yeah. I mean, I think it's just like in their Hall of Fame Ring of Honor type thing, because it says it's got 39 players chosen, but like I'm looking at these numbers here, and like we just had a 44 in Ivisic, 24 in Livingston. Like I don't know. I have to do a little bit more when I can, because I've had quite a bit of Woodford this evening. So like the words that I'm trying to read here are a little bit difficult, but yeah, I would put John Wall and Boogie in like the upper echelon of Kentucky players, just because of what they did to kind of rejuvenate their first year. I would say like, well, let's think about this. Their first year was very similar in like the rejuvenation of Kentucky basketball to Pope's first year. So you think about Lamont, you think about Barea, Ortega, Amari. I don't know that I love those players. I don't know if I'm putting any of them into a Hall of Fame category for Kentucky basketball, right? They got to
no, but I mean, John Wall and Boogie were at least All Americans, right? But
yeah,
I just, and this is kind of what we were talking about with
I wonder
Nate
if their
Ament,
NBA
right?
success
Like going, yeah,
affects
maybe
that decision.
I'm trying to, and that's part of what my family and I were discussing with Grant. How his NBA career is going, maybe going against him. Although I think it's been a very successful career, because he's completely transformed his game. No way that you're going to be able to be a post guy at like 6'6" in the NBA. He's made himself a good 3-point shooter, and kind of a defensive pest and all that. But with like John Wall and Boogie, that's kind of what we were talking about with Nate Ament, right? You choose maybe Tennessee over Duke. It's easier to put yourself in legendary status at Tennessee than it is at Duke. So not saying that John Wall and Boogie aren't legendary, but it's just really, really short of winning a national championship to me, like AD did. It's hard to like really put yourself, really in that top tier at Kentucky, just because of who all and how many people you're competing with.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I guess if you look at it from like John Wall and Boogie are two of the most talented players that Kentucky has ever seen.
Right.
But are they Hall of Fame like accomplishment worthy? I think is the argument there.
Right. They're definitely some of the best, but not greatest. Like the difference in
difference, and
because you look back at some of those teams, like what we got now, like we were just talking about Shea on the team. Unfortunately, under De'Aaron Fox, Maxey.
Malik Monk was a problem when he was there.
Monk, I was just saying, Malik Monk, yeah. I mean, he single-handedly beat North Carolina with that 40-point game that he had. But I mean, I would think Jamal Mashburn's on there.
He is, and rightfully so. Monster Mash should definitely be on there. I think Jody Meeks maybe was there. I, to this day, vividly remember him dropping like 50 on. He dropped 50 on Tennessee. So, yeah.
Jody Meeks was special, but and Kentucky's got a lot of great players and a lot of history, so that's kind of tough. But yeah, I mean, I think, and personally for me, that was the dip in Kentucky basketball, and then kind of into high school, coming to college, and then the burst that Cal brought and Boogie and the John Wall dance and whatnot like that. That's like childhood memories for me. So like that's probably I have a little nostalgia, I guess, probably with when it talks to like their presence in Kentucky basketball history. But
Black, you know
talk,
who? What about Louisville?
For you talking jersey retirements?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
is Russ Smith? Is Russ Smith retired? He should be.
He is. Yeah, they retired. He's the last one that got retired in 2022. Daryl Griffith, Purvis Ellison.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Wes Unseld. And then there's one more that I'm forgetting. He's like dude played in like the 1950s. Charlie Tyra. That's what it is. So those are the only ones that are retired from us. I mean, as far as like dudes that are in the Hall of Fame, I couldn't really tell you. When you talk about like childhood memories and stuff, man, the Francisco Garcia Taekwondo Dean days, whew, man, that was peak. That was peak early Rick Pitino years, man. Like, you know, some teams that could have, probably should have won national championships that just didn't quite get there with those dudes. And then, I mean, obviously, like the 2012, we lose to AD and those dudes in the was it Final Four or Elite Eight? We played y'all. I think it was Final Four.
It was the year. The
year before
2014.
we won it. 2012, y'all won and beat us late in the tournament because we watched that game. And then 2013 was but I mean, dude,
no, we watched 2014.
That's right. 14
that was Elite Eight. The championship year was the Final Four. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Go ahead and hang my boy Edgar Sosa's jersey up, man.
Man, yeah, Edgar Sosa.
He's not a jersey hanger, but that was still my guy.
Dude, that guy was a freaking head case, man. he was so good, but I mean, when he would just get into moods where the game wasn't going his way, and he would just check out. It used to drive Pitino insane. I still remember I think he was a senior when Siva was a freshman. And
go ahead and put Peyton Siva too.
That's my guy right there. Peyton Siva. Like Peyton Siva.
I cannot stand Peyton Siva, but you got to respect him as a player. Like that dude, he was irritating as hell. He's like kind of like Zakai Ziegler, like just like you got to appreciate his game, but you just hate playing against him.
Yeah. Other guys like Kyle Keurig, Luke Hancock. I mean, Luke Hancock.
I forgot about Luke Hancock.
Luke Hancock single-handedly saved us against Michigan in that national title game. We were getting whooped early on. That little, what was that dude's name? The little dude from Michigan, Spike Albrecht, was just out there just dropping threes from everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, we're about to get blown out. And then Luke Hancock went on an absolute heater to end the first half and brought us all the way back for that one. And then Russ did his thing because Russ is just
Russ
ridiculous, man.
Yeah, he's got to have he's got to have
Russ special.
All 6 foot tall and 6 foot tall and
at best.
Yeah,
at best,
just out there torching people.
Yes, they could not do anything with him.
Yeah.
And now he's a bourbon mongler, as you know, supplying Yum Center with bourbon and doing all that. He's got it made right now. But what do you think about Oscar Tshiebwe? Because I would argue 34 should be hung. He underperformed in the tournament, but you talk about all SEC, all American, like he was like when you think about transfers to come to Kentucky, he was the guy. I would say 34 is a jersey. Like what he did for Kentucky was
he was really big for y'all. But again, I think it matters where you're at, and when you are at Kentucky trying to get your jersey up, like to me, it's like at least Final Four or bust.
Do y'all got AD's number hung up there?
I mean, it will be like AD will be hung up in the rafters for sure.
If you don't have his number hung up, Oscar Tshiebwe does not.
I'm just saying, like I'm just saying, as we go down the line, like Oscar should be, and I can't like it's tough for me to blame St. Peter's on Shigway. I mean, that just I don't even want to get into it. It's just
So
Cal and the
if we're talking
frustrations
about
of that.
pure impact, Aaron Harrison,
Oh my guy.
pure impact, and just ridiculous
The point where he always hits it,
tournament
and
tears.
he just
Like,
my goodness,
man,
he caused me to douse a pitcher all over old boy at Patty's that night.
Yeah,
because I'm jumping up and down.
That's
he
funny.
hit that shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
You were there when we went back to Patty's T, and he pushed me over that pitcher. You remember that? Yeah.
Patty's was the spot though.
Patty was the spot. Yeah.
Patty's was the spot.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why that made me think of it, but I've been listening to Sports Animal all week like I usually do, and there has been kind of all the callers that are calling in. They're like, "Hey, is Gainey coming back? Is there any chance that Zakai comes back and all that?" And the guys who host the shows, Eric Ainge is one of them, but then like Brian Rice does it with them. Like the non-player hosts are usually pretty tied in with UT Athletics. They got history and relationships with them. They don't think it's happening, but I was thinking about it with Zakai in particular. Like I'm all in on Zakai. I love Zakai. I would not want him to come back at this point because I think both parties have made their move, right? Like we went ahead and got what's his face from Maryland. Gillespie.
Yeah. Gillespie, yeah.
So we got a high end point guard. Like you, at this point, you like can't bring Zakai back, and then you got to start thinking about how much we're paying Nate Ament and how much we're going to pay Gillespie and all that. Like there wouldn't even be money for Zakai. Not that there's any word about it, or Chaz or any of that. So like. Yeah, like and not just us, but all the programs who are kind of thinking their guys might get this extra year and all that. You gotta, if they are, you gotta let them go somewhere else because your program at this point should have made their moves.
What about Gainey though? Because Gainey's out there posting videos about 50-year loading and whatnot. Like it almost seems like
he had that. Yeah, he had that one video, but the way one of the hosts explained it is there's no way because they have to wait on the court to make whatever decision with the NCAA case, right? But then the ruling won't go into effect until next season, the 27 season, not this, or the 26-27 season, not this upcoming 25-26 season. So even
out a year.
Yeah, I mean, and then he's not going to be able to come back. I think it would then only people are going to be grandfathered, and there's not going to be anybody retroactively able to come back. So I don't think it's going to happen. I would love for Gainey to come back because I like how the team is forming, but shooting guard looks to be the one spot where we still kind of need to address, and Gainey obviously could do that. So pulling Gainey back would be great, and I think still fits within the structure of the team. I don't think Zakai would fit within the structure of the team now with us bringing Gillespie in.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it 100 times, but yeah, Gainey, I'd let him wear blue and white, even though he, spent so many years in Tennessee. But I really like his game, and I think if you would have handed him the keys earlier, he potentially could even he could have been real special. But yeah, surprising. And then we talked about it before, like the players who entered the portal but had no eligibility left, like it just seemed like there was writing on the wall that this is going to happen. It did. I don't know.
I think it was wishful thinking.
Maybe the 15 roster spot thing. I think that's going to happen. All these teams seem like they're stacking up their rosters to plan for it. Both our walk-ons left. Travis Perry is in the transfer portal. It looked like Maryland or Vanderbilt are going to land him. That was surprising. I thought he kind of understood his role at Kentucky, but the internet's saying that he's getting his NIL evaluation is pretty significant to go play and get big minutes at some of these other schools, and not just like lower level. Like he was originally projected to go to like EKU or WKU or something like that. But some of these bigger schools are interested in his ability to score. So I mean, if he's going to get $1 million or two to go play somewhere else, I could see why his Kentucky love would diminish quickly. Like, okay, someone's going to pay me, and I'm going to get 20 plus minutes a game. All right, I'm going to go. But kind of stunk to see him leave. And now we're talking about returners. We're waiting on Otega Oweh. This is shitty me. I was hoping he was going to get invited to the draft. I was just like, I just want the return message like now. But now he's invited to the draft. I really think his measurables and him playing ball in front of scouts and GMs is going to elevate his draft stock. It just is like how much. Right now he's in like the 70s as far as the draft board goes, which I have argued doesn't mean much. Like when the combine starts, it'll elevate. And then when the combine starts and agents are talking to scouts and GMs, that's what really matters. I mean, Chris Livingston got drafted and he was not projected to do anything. And he hasn't done anything with Milwaukee, but he at least got drafted. So right now, Otega's got like a 2 or 3, maybe even up to $4 million NIL deal with Kentucky for what's being reported. But that's a 1-year deal. If he gets an NBA guarantee to be a late first round, which seems pretty of a dramatic jump, or a second round pick over multi years, I don't know. But I'm nervous if that he doesn't come back, because I truly there are some Kentucky fans that say that our roster right now can afford to lose Otega. In my mind, you got an all SEC type player who has been in Pope's system, knows Pope's system, and has proven he can put a team on your back and win a game. That is a substantial loss if he doesn't come back.
Yeah, whether or not you can afford to lose, I certainly wouldn't want to if I'm Kentucky. Like you say with Gainey, I would more than welcome him with open arms to the beautiful orange.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can never be mad at having a good player, and I think that's
not beautiful orange, but
it's pretty beautiful. And I think that would be like if he were to go back to Kentucky, that would probably hit differently than like if Zakai came back to Tennessee, right? Because that he could still slot right in at a starting spot, whereas now Zakai and Gillespie would be button heads. So yeah, I wouldn't look at that like, oh, we're good without him. Go ahead. I'd be like you are, and I'd be like, yo, please come back.
I mean, if these draft projections are anything like the NFL's, these guys don't know what they're talking about anyway. So,
well, shoot, the GMs don't know.
Be a lottery pick. He might be a lottery pick for all we know.
Yeah.
Well, that was my point. Is that like I put out there like I've said I'm nervous, and everybody's like, you're an idiot. He's not even projected to be he wants to be a first round pick. You don't know what you're talking about. And I even looked at his message, like Antonio Reeves, when he put in his announcement he was going to the draft, it was very specific. He was going like he talked about, I want to go get some information about where I'm at.
Yeah, feel it out.
And Otega was like, hey, I'm going to the draft and I'm going to keep some eligibility open, but my goal is going to be there. Now, Pope was just in an interview, and they were talking about and Pope was like, his heart is in Kentucky, like he really wants to be here, but we're going to support him fully, blah, blah, blah. All the good coach speak. So it sounded great, and now Kentucky fans have confidence, but it just takes one GM, right? It takes one team to be like, I like this dude. So I expect him to be back, honestly. Like my gut, my heart, everything says like, hey, it makes sense for him to come back. But the other thing that I've mentioned is he was on the team that had Jackson Robinson come back, and he watched Jackson Robinson have a season-ending injury and not be able to like fully project himself into that first round pick he was hoping to be. So like he's kind of seen the risk there. Now you can't play scared. You gotta play the game and not expect to get injured. But he has seen something go like, shit, this can also go badly for me too if I come back. So it's if Otega comes back, I will be bending your ear about a Final Four roster until October, November.
You're going to do that regardless.
You're going to do that regardless.
Yeah. I won't do it. I won't do it regardless.
That is not true. You're lying. You're lying.
You were doing it all year this year.
You're lying.
No. Well, part of that is true.
Hey, look, Richie's here. Richie's been here the whole time.
Let's talk about something else.
Kyle finally made him upset enough to where he put a
I'm saying, but Otega Owe is like that is like a contentious conversation among Kentucky fans. Like, like legit. I'm being called like I'm like you're a fucking idiot for just forever thinking he's gonna go in the draft. It's like I don't know. He's there right now. Like he's in the combine. Like he's obviously like he wants to put all his effort into it. But I hope he comes back. Because I do think he's a special player, and I think he can be elite. And I just think there's something to be said about a dude who's been in a system and can jump in there and be like a captain of a team and know what Pope is thinking, like Jackson Robinson was. Yeah. You're not. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I don't disagree with you. Like that sounds shitty for us to think as Kentucky fans, but yeah, I hope that
Richie.
yeah,
I hope he makes every shot and he's a lottery pick and y'all don't get him back. That's what I hope.
He won't be a lottery pick, but I just like he's 77 right now. When the combine hasn't started, he started off not even in the top 100. So like the combine hasn't started, he's already jumped 30-ish spots. So like we know he's athletic. We know he's like physically capable of impressing scouts. So like outside of his jump shot being a little bit broken, like what happens if all of a sudden the team goes like I can fix that. I really want this dude on my team, and I'm going to guarantee you $3 million a year as a first like a early second round pick.
Yeah.
Now you're like, well, shit. That's a 3-year or a $3 million deal over 3 or 4 years, depending on what the contract is. That's better than 4 years, one year or $4 million 1 year at Kentucky.
He needs to put in some work with Kobe Brea and figure that jump shot out, because if there's anybody that can fix it, it's whoever taught that kid how to shoot.
Yeah, no doubt. But so
I want to ask Richie. Hopefully he'll answer. Just because I'm curious, Richie. We were talking earlier. Would you retire John Wall and or Boogie Cousins jerseys or put them in the Kentucky Basketball Hall of Fame as a Kentucky fan?
Don't change your shot right now. Oh man!
So I know Richie's watching on X, which is
I was going to say we're probably on a little delay right now.
Yeah, it's like a 30-second delay, so he'll jump in here. But as he's responding, I don't think Louisville did anything else in the transfer portal. Tennessee added another body in the transfer portal from France.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
He said we got too many banners right now.
For basketball, and he's a shooting guard. He averaged like 10 points for, I think he was playing in Spain, actually, like Barcelona or something. I don't know a whole lot about him. Richie, that's similar to what I was saying at Kentucky in particular.
Yeah.
Or at least without Final Fours. So hopefully that dude's a good fit. And then in football, we flip-flop corners. We sent ours to Colorado, and Colorado sent theirs over to us. So we just keep flip-flopping with people. Flip-flop quarterbacks with UCLA.
Yeah. The hashtag Hood era has started on Vol's Twitter. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nah.
That's it. It's happening. Hood era. I don't know the kid. I watched when I watched some of his stuff from Auburn, and then a little bit from Colorado. He played a little bit from Auburn and mostly Colorado. He played all 13 games, I think, and he looks impressive. Like, I mean, I think he's talented.
Hey, in reality, Richie, Tennessee basketball historically is not what Kentucky basketball is. So, yeah, it does not take Final Fours at Tennessee to get your jersey up.
Oh man, big yikes!
Yeah,
big
but that dude from France, he's I mean, he's not Chaz Lanier DK shooter, but he's a knockdown 3-point shooter. So he does at least let you stretch the floor a little bit,
which we need. Yeah, shooting guard
yeah.
is definitely where we needed to address.
I can't act like I knew who this dude was beforehand, like from the French league, wherever the hell he's playing. But watching, they posted when they committed his YouTube videos, and of course they're not going to post lowlights, they're going to post highlights. But in the video that I saw, he didn't miss a shot, which is kind of impressive. So
yeah. I'm not surprised.
Some great analysis. Yeah, great analysis there, Kyle.
Yeah, you really know what you're talking about, man.
I mean, if they're looking for scouts, I'm here.
Clearly,
I am available.
Oh hell!
The highlight I saw, he didn't miss a shot. He even dunked a couple.
Yeah. Oh, good grief.
Oh yeah, well, typically that is how highlight reels work.
Yep.
Oh man,
I'm without a doubt the funniest person I know. So.
Nobody makes me laugh like I do.
You got tears in my eyes with that one.
Yeah, that was
boys, it's Derby weekend. Are we gonna bet on some ponies or what?
Hell no.
No, I won't.
You're going.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure I'm going to.
I ain't playing with that. No, not at all.
Have you ever gone to the Derby?
I have never been to the Derby. It's a bucket list thing for me. I want to go. I've been in
Black.
Kentucky
You haven't been
during
either?
the Derby.
No, I have. My family does. Pretty much.
So y'all are both from Kentucky. I'm from Tennessee.
Actually,
and I'm the only one who's been to the Derby.
Let me not say. I may have been when I was little, but I was too little to remember. That,
I really wanted to go to 150, and I got moved right in the middle of it from where I was at, so we didn't go. But it was coming out here. But yeah, we had plans to go to 150 and do it big. Spend all the money and get those fancy seats, and it didn't get to happen. But yeah, it's a bucket list thing for me. I got which shoulder is it? Oh, this one. I got the 150 bourbon right there behind me for the Derby, and that's actually what I'm drinking now. Is the Woodford Special Edition 151 bourbon, or I guess it's just a bottle. It's the same Woodford, but yeah, it's a bucket list thing for me. It's like kind of like two ends. Like, do you want to go hang out with the fancy folks, or do you want to just go in the infield and just get boozed up and fucking not really watch the race?
I ended up being lucky. My neighbor in college, she was from Louisville, and they lived right there on the river, so they got us those nice fancy box seats. But it was a pretty dope environment.
75,000 on a bet right in front of me.
Let me just take myself right on back home.
Yeah. Dude, you want to talk about people just being absolutely blasted at a horse race? The Preakness is an absolute shit show of epic proportions. Like, because it is a far less classy version of the Kentucky Derby.
Maryland representative,
right, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah. That we had one of the pitchers on our team my junior year fell asleep on the infield, and he was wearing a tank top and fell asleep on his side, and just this whole half of his body
was got all burnt up,
torched, just absolutely torched. Oh man, old Tim Premierski, the kid was a character.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I was gonna potentially have some. I think Alex, you might come over tomorrow, but we're gonna do a little derby party. It's that ended up falling through. But people at my work were like, "Oh, you're into like horse racing?" I was like, during the Derby, I am.
The Kentucky Derby.
During the Derby, I am. It's like I like racing, but like the Indy 500. That's it's cool that Kentucky has like the Super Bowl of horse racing in the state. Indiana has the Indy 500. Like, if you're not a racing fan, you still like the Indy 500 is like a spectacle, right? Like the state, focuses around that, and they do like a bunch of shows and stuff. So like the Derby is special, and I have an excuse to drink a mint julep or 20. So
those mint juleps were they were. I'm all about sweet, but those were like too sweet for me.
Yeah, you gotta tone it down a little bit, but just finding mint around here is difficult. But if not, we'll just still partake in the bourbon straight, and it'll be all right.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I think we covered everything. And while the show started late because me and technology just don't.
Wasn't my fault for once. Wasn't my fault.
It was not. Once. It was not. Yeah, I was.
I was not convinced that you were awake, T.
Yeah.
I'd send a text in there once or twice, let y'all know I'm still up.
You let well, after we were like, I'm pretty sure T's dead, and he's like, nope, just watching the game.
Just watching the game.
A string of like, there was me like melting down, like I can't figure out my computer. It's breaking down. What the fuck is going on? It's just like silence.
I wasn't gonna be mad if I got to go to sleep. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but he was just gonna let it rock.
I was gonna let it happen.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna finish watching SmackDown here and get ready for the Derby tomorrow, boys. As always, good talking to you.
All right,
maybe I'll see you tomorrow. T.
Yeah, Richie, good luck out there. Go Big Orange.
Yeah. How's up, baby?